Hello, soulmates. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this channel, you are very much welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always stopping by. So, in today's video, I'll be teaching you how to cut and also how to sew this beautiful pant trouser with side ruffles using a freehand method. This means that we won't be using any pattern to draft the trouser. The inspiration of this trouser is the one currently showing by the right hand side of the screen, while the one I recreated is the one showing by the left. So if this is something that interests you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and without wasting much time, let's get right into the video. Welcome guys. So for this trouser you'll be needing about 2 to 3 yards of a crepe fabric. This crepe fabric is almost very similar to a duchess because you need a fabric that will fall, not all this stiff crepe. So guys, I folded my fabric into two at this point. Then I'll be using a band of 1.5 inches for my trouser. So now I'm placing 1.5 inches at the second line of this of the line I measured there. So the 1.5 inches is on the second line. Then I measured my crotch line, which is 10.5. Then I measured my knee length, which is 23. So the half inches at the upper part is for the joining. So the new point I just measured now is my hip line, which is 9. So my hip line is 9 inches, my crotch line is 10.5, then my knee line is 23 inches. I hope you understand. You know your measurements will not be the same as my own measurement, so just choose whatsoever you have. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to go over to my hip line, that's the line above the crotch line. Then I will divide my hip measurement divided by 4. So I'm using hip of 36 inches. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. Then I'm adding extra 1 inch to that 9, that's 10. So I measured 10. So the next thing to do is to divide that 9 inches into 4 again. So dividing the 9 inches into 4, I have something very close to 2.5. So I'll just be using 2.5. Then I'm adding extra half inch for the joining at this side. Yes. So the 1 inch I added to the hip is the joining by this side. So whatever you have there, so that 10 inches, you go upward here and you deduct half inch from it. So at this waist area I measured 9.5. So I'm extending this line downward, then this other line, so I'm extending it to the crotch line downward. So the same thing you measured at the hip line is the same thing you measure at the crotch line, but at this upper part here I deducted half inch from the 10 inch, so the line should be straight, but I deducted half inch there. So the next thing I'll be doing is to draw a curve at this area, connecting the crotch to the hip area. I hope you understand what I did over there. So I just connect that point to the hip side. So now from this side here, I want to measure my hip. You know I measured my hip with 1 inch, so this 1 inch is the joining allowance at this side. Then my hip is what I measured out right there. So let's move over to the waist area. So you measure your waist measurement divided by 4. My waist is 24, so 24 divided by 4 is 6. So I'll measure 6 here. Then I will add 1 inch for my dart allowance. Then I will add 1 inch for the joining allowance of this side right here. So now you connect this point to this point. So connecting this point together, now we've added our joining allowance for this side to this. So this other line I'm connecting is the actual waist and hip measurement, but the 1 inch is the one by this side. I hope you understand now. So I'm reading this line upwards so that you can understand. So that side there is just the sewing allowance. So like I said, I added half inch to this side. Then I'm adding half inch also to this crotch area for the crotch joining. We'll be sewing the crotch area, so I've added the half inch at that side. So the next thing I will do now is to measure what I is to go down by 1.5. This will be our tie line. So I'll just rule these points straight like this. So this is for the tie. So the next thing I will do is to measure what I have here altogether. So altogether I have 11.5 there. That's without the joining allowance. We have half inch over there, half inch here, so half inch there and 1 inch here. So I did not measure the joining allowance with it. It's just the main measurements I measured, and I have 11.5. So just note that your tie measurement you'll be using will not be your fitted tie measurement. You should have added your ease allowance to your tie. So for me, I'm using 23 inches. So 23 inches is my tie measurement with my ease allowance. So whatever your accurate tie measurement is, you can just add 2 inches to it. So when I measured that part, I noticed that it was exactly my tie measurement with the ease allowance. That's 11.5 on fold. So I don't need to do much at that side. So I'm moving this fabric upward so that you can see this new area. So that's my tie measurement, 11.5 right there. So I'll note the midpoint, then I'll just roll it downward. Make sure it is straight, please. Make sure the line is straight, because this line I first measured was not straight. So make sure the line is straight, then you just connect it downward. So the next thing is to measure your new measurement over here. Your new measurement also, you have to add your ease allowance. So my new measurement I'm using is 21 inches. So 21 inches divided by 2, that's 10.5. Then I have to share this 10.5 on both sides of this line. So that will be 5 and quarter, 5 and quarter. So altogether I have 10.5. Please note that your tie and your new measurements, that is the circumference, you must have added your ease allowance, except you want your pants to be fitted. Also, you can just add a little bit ease allowance at your hip area if you don't want the hip to be fitted also. So I'm just rolling this line upward to connect to the thigh area. Then I'll also be adding the half inch allowance at this side, then the 1 inch allowance at this other side. So it's so difficult to rule on this fabric. That's why I'm just doing it gently, and sometimes the lines were not straight because it was so difficult to rule on it. So that's the sewing allowance there, and that's the sewing allowance at the other side. So I'm moving this downward to measure my my trouser length. So my trouser length is 40, then I added 2 inches at the lower part for the hemming allowance. So that's what I have there. So I'm extending this line from the new, I'm extending it downward also. So just roll it downward. You can either measure what you have at your new area, at this ankle area, that is the end of your trouser length, or you can just reduce it by maybe 1 inch. But I'm measuring what I have here, which is 10.5. So 5 and quarter on this side, 5 and quarter on this other side. So everything all together will be 10.5. So I'm adding the half inch sewing allowance at this side, then the remaining part at this other side is the 1 inch. So now I'll just connect this side upward like this. then the front is ready to be cut out. So just note that the allowance for the joining and the sewing has been added to the front bodies. So now the front bodies is ready and this is what it looks like. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to just go ahead and just cut. So go ahead and cut this out. Please make sure you cut the sewing allowance together. Don't make a mistake of cutting away the sewing allowance because it will affect your trouser. So this is it after cutting it. Then the next thing I'll do is to go ahead and cut the back. So I've placed the front trouser, the front bodies, I've placed it on the back. As you can see, there is space by the side, by both sides of the back. So I'm extending this part here by 1 inch. Then I will also extend upward by 1 inch. 1 inch upward. Then from the tip here, I'll measure 2 inches inward. So I measured 1 inch at first, but it should be 2 inches inward. 2 inches inward, not 1 inch. So you go up by 1 inch, then you go in by 2 inches. Then you slant this point down to this waist area. So you just slant it downward like that. So after that, you go ahead and measure your waist divided by 4. Mine is 6. Then you add your dart allowance and your sewing allowance. That's 2 inches altogether. So I told you that I measured 1 inch before, so I'm trying to correct it. So I went in by 2 inches now. Then I measured my waist divided by 4. Dart allowance and sewing allowance. That's 2 inches. So I'll be reconnecting these points towards the hip area. So I'll reconnect it towards the hip of the front that I placed on the back. So you reconnect it to balance up with this front side, just like that. So this side here, we'll go ahead and connect it to the 2 inches we went in at this upper part. So just place your French curve like this. Then you reconnect just like this. So it will be different from the front, as you can see. It is different from the front. So I'm adding the ½ inch for the crotch joining for the back. So I'm adding the ½ inch just like this. So that's the only adjustment you will do to the front. Then you connect this part to inward just like this. So you blend it towards the side. So that's the only adjustment for the back. So now the back is ready to be cut out. Then you still place your front on it. Then you go ahead and cut. So after cutting, it's time to note our darts. That's if you are using that. So the dart is actually optional. If you don't want to use that, you can skip the dart part and you won't add the dart allowance. So after the ½ inch crotch joining that I added, I measured 4 inches. Then I note that part. That will be my darts area. Now let's move to the ruffles. So now I've folded this my fabric into two, just as if I want to cut a 360-degree flare, and the radius here is 15. No, it's 14 inches. So it is 14 by 14. So at first I was marking 15, but I noticed the fabric would not be enough, so I'm marking 14 inches. So just mark 14 inches, just as if you want to cut a flare. So you mark 14 inches just like this. Then for the ruffles, I want my ruffles to be 5 inches. Then I will add extra 1 inch. That's ½ inch for the hemming and ½ inch for the joining to the pants. So I'll be marking 6 inches again upward like this. So if your trouser length is between 40 to 42, you can just use the exact measurement of these ruffles that I'm using. So after measuring here, so I noticed it was about 13 inches. So 13 times 4, that's more than 40 inches. So I know it will be enough. So if it is more than enough, we'll just make gathers. So I'll open this part up. So if you can fold your fabric to cut the two at the same time, we'll be needing two, one on the right hand side and the other one at the left hand side. So I cut both sides together. So my fabric was folded for both sides. So the small part we have here, so I want to cut another flare from it because I don't want it to waste. So 6 inches again, you measure, then whatever you have here, you cut it away. So this is just like an addition to the initial one that we've cut out. So like I said, I cut two at the same time. Like I'm cutting two flares at the same time. So the smaller one, I will join it to the bigger one. So that's for one side. Then the other one too, I'll join it together. Then I'll go ahead and I will hem the edge. Then I will make gathers because this is more than 40 inches length. So now it's time to sew the trouser. You go ahead and just sew the crotch and also make the darts. After joining, this is what we have. The next thing to do now is to fix our band. So I forgot to show you the band that I cut out. So my band should be 1.5 inches. That is after folding in the half inches. So I cut out 4 inches wideness. Then when you fold it into two, you have 2 inches. Then you fold half inch in. So that's 1.5. So I've went ahead to fix it at the front. Then I also fix it at the back bodies too. So this is the ruffles. I've went ahead to hem these edges. So it is not easy to hem this edge. So instead of hemming this, you can just go ahead and weave it. Then you hem, or you just use a bias tape to turn it. So that one will be easier. So after that, you place this on your front bodies. Place it on the front bodies. The right side must be facing the right side of the front bodies. So you start by pinning here. My joining allowance at the side is 1 inch, so I left half inch here because I'll be sewing this with half inch. So I left half inch, then I placed the ruffles. So at this edge over here, the ruffles is very long. Like I said, we'll be making a pleat when we are sewing it down. So what I did was to measure 2 inches for my hemming allowance. So I measured 2 inches for my hemming allowance here. Then I measured 5 inches. This is because if you fix this to the edge of your trouser, the ruffles will be too long. So you have to move it up a bit. So I move it up by 5 inches. 5 inches, then the hemming allowance, that's 7 inches. So now I've went ahead to sew it down with half inch. Then I make ruffles, I make gathers rather to the SS, and this is what it looks like. So this is what the gathers looks like. As you can see, the gathers was very much, and this is the space I left. So now the next thing to do is to place your back bodies on it like this. Then you sew with your 1 inch sewing allowance. So you sew like that, so the ruffles will be in between just like this. So the ruffles will be in between just like this. So the next thing to do is to iron, to hem the trouser, to hem the lower part of the trouser, and to also fix the zipper. So this is it after ironing. As you can see, my ironing line there. So the next thing I'll be doing is to fix my zipper at the back. So with the half inch for the crotch allowance I left, I will just join it. Then this is what it looks like. So after fixing the zipper, the trouser is ready. As you've seen the outcome from the intro video, it looks very beautiful and very nice. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.